Sorry, Mataji. Okay, carry on.
Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine.
Nama
Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvesha Shunyavadi Pastyadya Desatarine Namaste
Saraswati Devi
Gauravani
Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatam.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Gadadara Shivashari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Two more times, darling.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Three times already? Hari Bol. Thank you, Mataji. Nice tune. Okay. Okay, whose turn this is? Sivaranjani Mat.
My turn. The son of Devaki, the supreme personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, cannot be satisfied by anyone's study of the Vedas, charity, sacrifice, pilgrimage, or vows, as much as he is satisfied by the devotional recitation of the Gita.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So let's take Darshana Sri Srinita Sundar Gaurahari from Jalan Pandi, Kuala Lumpur. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitina Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Join me. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay. Venukumar Prabhu. Thank you.
One who attentively hears and sings the glories of the purport of the Gita or reiterates that purport to others, such a person attains to the supreme destination.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. So we are all here learning, and it's also good if you can share the information to others. Okay, so that we all can together achieve the supreme destination. Okay. All right, as usual, we will do a quick recap. Okay, so the linking verses from yesterday's chapter is text 23 and text 24. Okay, so this is about the result of not following sastras and the result of following the sastras. Okay, so the faithful followers of the sastras are called divine, and those who are faithless or disobedient to following the sastras, they are called demoniac. Okay, and the people, the demoniac people who do not follow the sastras, they attain no perfection or happiness or supreme destination, whereas those who follow, they understand what is duty, what is not duty by following the scriptures. Okay, so knowing this, they will be gradually elevated. Okay, so here, can you see this? The keyword here is knowing the regulation. Knowing the regulation, they have faith on the sastras. So chapter 17 is about that, about the faith. So faith can be different types. Okay, so this is the expansion of these two verses. All right. So with that, we are entering chapter 17. It's called the divisions of faith. There are three types of faith corresponding to and evolving from the three modes of material nature. Okay, so now, okay, if you look at this here, there is one group who don't follow the sastras. There is another group who follow the sastras. So Arjuna has a question. He has a question about people in between. Okay. All right. So here, this is our section. Okay. How the three modes determine the kind of faith that we have and influences what we worship. Okay, and this is people who don't follow the sastras. I mean, who don't follow the sastras, but at the same time, they are not the bad people. They are not the demoniac people. At the same time, they don't follow the sastras. So Krishna is actually answering Arjuna's question. So what if they don't follow the sastras, but they have some kind of faith on some personalities and they are doing some kind of worship? So where do they fall? This is Arjuna's question. Okay, so we will cover that. Okay, the modes, because that mode, that faith is influenced by these three modes. Okay, and influences the worship. So second, we will see three modes in food, sacrifice, austerity, and charity. So, okay, we will cover these four as well. And then finally, how adding Om Tat Sat purifies all our activities. Okay, so actually, originally, your level 1, it goes really briefly on this food, sacrifice, austerity, and charity. But since I'm not going to do level 2, I am adding certain things here, just like a, like a free gift. Okay, so you buy one, you get this free, like, so I get this freebies I'm giving. Actually, it's not freebies, yeah, it's Krishna's information, but I think I should insert it today. So under this austerity, we will cover three kinds of things: austerity of body, speech, and mind. And these three will have the three modes. Okay. All right. So let's move on. So first is the worship. How the modes determine one's faith and one's worship. Text 1. Mataji?
Hello, Mataji. Translation. Arjuna inquired, "O Krishna, what is the situation of those who not follow the principle of scriptures but worship according to their own imagination? Are they in goodness, in passion, or in ignorance?"
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So here, Arjuna is asking, when one does not base his faith on sastric injunctions, what happens to his faith? So Krishna say, if you don't follow the sastric injunction, the faith is based on the mentality of that person, and this mentality is influenced or conditioned by the three modes. Okay, so a quick recap. Yeah, chapter 14 is about the three modes of material nature, and we saw how important is it to cultivate mode of goodness, and we try to reduce the passion and ignorance. And then we went to the banyan tree topic in chapter 15, where the top part are the divine people and the lower part are the demonic people. So the top part, people under mode of goodness, the lower you go, more prominent are the mode of goodness, passion and ignorance. And then it expands in chapter 16, how the divine people behave and how the demonic people behave. Okay, so this question here, those who are not in the divine level, who are not on the demonic level, where are they sitting in this banyan tree? So that is Arjuna's question. Where do they sit? Are they in the goodness or in the passion or the ignorant? So this is influenced by the mentality, and this mentality is influenced by this their nature. Okay, so the nature can be goodness, passion, or ignorance. All right. Okay. And also his basis of question is that, will these people attain perfection? Okay, so that's his question. Worship according to their own imagination. This is Arjuna's inquiry about unauthorized worship. Unauthorized worship means it is not mentioned anywhere in the Vedas. Okay, it is not in the guideline or SOP or manual or framework. It's not mentioned there. So what happens to them? Okay, text 2. Text 2. Oh, okay, Prabhu is not here. I thought he's coming. Okay, who can come in? Who can help?
Yeah, I'll read, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhu.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead say, according to the modes of nature acquired by the embodied soul, one's faith can be of three kinds: in goodness, in passion, or in ignorance. Now hear about this.
Okay, so here Krishna is explaining, if one does not follow the Vedas, one will follow the natural instinct. Okay, this is what I say, mentality is actually natural instincts, which will be in goodness, passion, or ignorance. Now, who are under these modes? Those who know the rules and regulation of scriptures. Okay, however, because of laziness or indolence, they give up this the following of these rules and regulations. Okay, they may be aware that there are guidelines, but they don't want to follow because they just find it's lazy, or for some reason they don't follow. Okay, and how do they acquire this natural instinct? This is influenced by their past activities. Okay, they call it, if you have a good characters, it's because you have sukriti from the past. That's what they say. Okay, so if you don't have the tendency to follow certain things, it's because the reactions due to the past activities. So that's number 2. And how can we actually change this influence, the reactions from the past? It influences our natural instincts, and finally it dictates what we worship, how we worship. Can we actually change it? Yes, we can. If we are fortunate enough to come under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual teacher, and then we follow the rules of the scriptures, then we can change it. Okay. All right. So here Krishna says, one's faith can be of 3 kinds. Okay, all right, so who, we already covered who, the basis, and how to change. Yeah, who means those who knows the existence of the Vedas, but they don't follow. Okay, what is the basis? Previous activities, and how to change with the guidance of a spiritual master. Okay, more information on people with non-scriptural faith. Actually, this is like a recap, right? They worship based on their natural instinct and acquired nature due to previous impressions by the influence of the mode. Okay, what else? Such people give up scripture out of laziness or because the required worship was troublesome. Yeah, so this is why they feel lazy. Oh, it's too much to follow. Okay, this is why they give up. It's too austere. It's too many rules and regulations, so they don't want to. However, they still want to worship certain Ishta Devas, but in their own way. They want to do that. So it's not wrong because they do have some bhakti. It's just that they don't want to follow rules and regulations. Okay. Okay, why is this happen? In contrast, demonic way of worship is against the Vedic practices. Okay, so this is the in contrast. So why this happens is because in the process, the worship becomes tainted. Okay, it becomes tainted by the enjoying spirit of the worshipper. So they might not want to, they might not do the worship to satisfy the senses of the Ishta Deva, but they want to do for their satisfaction. So this is a problem. Okay, what else? So the original pure love that a bhakta has for the Ishta Deva of God, it becomes compromised because of this selfishness. They have various degrees of selfishness. Why? Because I do this, you give me. If you don't give me this, I'm going to stop this worship. So this is various degrees of selfishness, and it is tainted by the enjoying spirit. Thus, that true love for God is compromised. Okay, so this is the effect. Text 4. I'm going to run a little fast because later on we have a lot to cover. Okay, text 4. Okay, I did not assign anyone. All right, so let me read. Men in the mode of goodness worship the devas. Those in the mode of passion worship the demons. And those in the mode of ignorance worship ghosts and spirits. Okay, so the devas like Brahma, Chandra, Indra, sun god. Okay, these are the worshippers of the devas. The demons are like, they worship bad personalities. Okay, like there was time people worshipped Hitler. Okay, so that's an example. Or they also worship humans, like they worship celebrities. Okay, or man-made God. Okay, so there are a lot of gods mushrooming here and there. They do a little bit of sadhana. They can do some siddhis, some magic, or they can eat glass or walk on the water or appear from here to there. So they claim that they have the power of God, and people follow them. Ignorant people follow them. And then they make this particular personality as God. Okay, so they think that God is, when person can perform some miracles, then, oh, that's great, he is God. Okay, so these kind of people are made to be God by the followers, the people. And this so-called gurus or personality, right? So they also enjoy that, that privilege given. All right, okay, finally, worship of ghosts and spirits. So it could be worship at the graveyard, they worship the dead spirits, ghosts, they even worship sexual services. So this is all mode of ignorance. Okay, this is the fate of people. This is the characteristics or activities of people with non-scriptural faith. Okay, so actually we are done with worship. Any question here? Okay, very straightforward. Yeah, this is very straightforward. Okay, the worshipper of the devas, they fall in the mode of goodness. Okay, the demon worshipper, they fall in the mode of passion, and the ghosts and spirits, ignorance. Okay, so now we are moving to the rest: food, austerity, charity, food, austerity, charity, sacrifices. Okay, so this one Krishna is going to continue to describe in the respective modes. Okay, can you all remember what did I say? Okay, what is this? Okay, of course, this is food, right? What is this? Everybody there? What is the second picture about? Homa. Okay, so Homa
Sacrifice.
is, yes, sacrifice. Very good. Okay, I'm going to open the third picture. Yeah, yagya, yajna. Yes, very good. How about this one? This is demon Hiranyakashipu. What is he doing? Yes, austerity, or tapasya. Okay, usually they do that to get some boons. So finally, Lord Brahma appeared to give boon. Penance, yes. Okay. What is this? What activity is charity or donation? So we have eating, sacrifice, austerity or penance. Okay, so this one we have body, mind, and speech. Okay, later we will cover. And charity. So first we go to food. Food in 3 modes. Text 8 to text 10. Is Yuga Priya Mataji here? Okay, she's not here. Who has Bhagavad Gita? I want you to read text 8, 9, 10 in full. The information has been extracted and put in the table. So, however, I would like somebody to read the full verses. Who has?
I'll read, Mataji.
Mataji?
Foods dear to those in the mode of goodness increase the duration of life, purify one's existence, and give strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. Such foods are juicy, fatty, wholesome, and pleasing to the heart. Text 9, foods that are too bitter, too sour, salty, hot, pungent, dry, and burning are dear to those in the mode of passion. Such foods cause distress, misery, and disease. Text 10, food prepared more than 3 hours before being eaten, food that is tasteless, decomposed, and putrid, and food consisting of remnants and untouchable things is dear to those in the mode of darkness.
Okay, that's it, Mataji. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna.
So, the qualities of the foods are described here. Okay, the goodness is juicy, wholesome, pleasing to the heart. The effect will be it increases the duration of life. Of course, the health goes without saying. Okay, it purifies and gives you good health and satisfaction. And generally, we try our best to get food that is close, that is closest to the source, right? Naturally grown on the land. So they give these kind of qualities. Okay, so that is goodness. So basically these 3 modes, right? You can actually try to understand a person by seeing what kind of food they eat. Okay, so that actually gives what mode they are under. All right. Okay, move on to passion. Food in the mode of passion. Okay, we have all these, yeah, too bitter, sour, spicy also included. Okay, hot, dry, burning. Okay, and this will give distress, misery, and disease. So let's dive in a little bit more. Distress means refers to pain felt or displeasing felt while eating such food. Okay, misery is referring to depression you feel after eating. Okay, and disease, the result yet to be felt. So probably you will feel few hours later, maybe stomach ache or flatulence, or maybe the next day, people who can't take spice. So next day you will see the effect. So this is disease, distress, misery, disease. Distress, misery, disease coming from food in the mode of passion. Okay, next is ignorance. So ignorance, as mentioned here, tasteless, decomposed. Okay, let's go to main ones. Yeah. Now this food, it gives effect like if like this decompose actually referring to animal flesh or seafood because they are dead things. Okay, and they are decomposed and they are not healthy. Sweet is goodness, Mataji. It should be good. It should be goodness. Okay, but chocolate is a little different. Chocolate has caffeine in it and it can cause addiction. So I would say it's in the mode of passion. Okay, passion. Very good, Vasigi Mataji. Thank you for helping. All right. So this is why in ISKCON movement, actually chocolate comes under the intoxication. Those who are very strict, they don't take coffee, tea, chocolate, okay, because it has caffeine in it, and then it can cause addiction. All right. Okay. So food in the mode of ignorance. Yeah, I'll continue. So decompose means they are people in the mode of ignorance. They are very fond of eating animal flesh or seafood. They are decomposed and they are not healthy. And untouchable things means, uh, there are generally people eating meat, the common meat, but there are people also eat anything and everything. So sometimes you think, oh, this one also can be eaten. Yeah. So this is called untouchable things. Okay, so they take anything, they eat anything that walks on the land, in the sea, or flies in the air, so they will just eat it. All right, remnants means it has been eaten or is contaminated by somebody else or contaminated by animal. So taking that, it will increase infection or disease. Okay, now the effect of this is one loses mercy. Okay, they feel lazy and they lose sleep. Okay, so this is what is mentioned, the effect of it. Okay, so that is the mode of the food. And the best food is, if you want to be safe, you want the food to increase the, generally why we eat, we want to increase the duration of our life, we want to purify our mind and aid in our bodily strength. Okay, and this is why people from the past, our ancient sages, actually recommended, this Ayurveda is part of the Vedas. Okay, so it has been mentioned in the Vedas, what are the food you can be eaten, what to be eaten, what not to be eaten. Even onion, garlic is not allowed in the Ayurvedic food. Coffee, tea, all this is not allowed there. Okay, so if you go back to the original life, way of life in eating. Okay, sattvic food, yes, that's the right word. Okay, okay, so this is basically coming from milk products, rice, wheat, sugar, grains. Okay, so these are all food in the mode of goodness, and this is what the authorities in the past have established for us to follow. Okay, and as far as the fat, sometimes we need fat also, right? Fatty food and proteins are concerned. Only animal fat of milk, that means the fat from the milk, is allowed. No fat from animals' body or animal slaughter. Chili, green chili, yeah? Yeah. Yeah. If some are allergy or eczema, they have to avoid beets, but have to include meat diet. There is a sin to eat those. Yes, it is, because now the food technology has improved so much. Okay, you can get protein from various kind of grains, like chickpeas. Chickpeas got two types, and you have green beans and split beans. So you can actually Google everything at your fingertips. You can actually check it out. Okay, so I do have a friend who can't take beans. He loves beans, but he can't because he has some leg problem. So he has to take some other thing. He has to be careful. Okay, so if you have to take medication to suppress, you have to, but you can avoid beans and take other things. You just have to search for it. Yeah, actually the chili is here, right? Even I won't take the chili. Okay, but sometimes the food can be bland and you can add a little bit for your taste. Okay, it's not like the entire food is influenced by chili. Okay, okay, did I miss anything? Arusube. Arusube means 6 types of taste, right? It's not necessary that your plate must have all the 6 tastes. It's not really necessary. Some people cannot afford, all right? Yes, this is where we have to be very careful. Medication can have bovine sauces, especially those capsules, right? The gel is made of bovine, okay, bovine sauces. But we do have, right now, we do, in the last 1 or 2 years, I've been also taking some pills, and I checked with the dermatologist. This is got bovine sauce or not? They say no. So we can get pills without bovine sauce, especially the capsule, which is the concern here, right? So we are it's a world of technology here, and people are very educated. People are well read, well informed. We can search and inquire. Okay, it's a consumer world out there, and veganism and vegetarianism is increasing. So the manufacturers are bringing out this kind of vegan friendly products. Okay, we just have to search. Okay, definitely, and philosophically and spiritually, Krishna will help Okay, Krishna will have. Okay, so what else? So we are avoiding the inhuman way of deriving fat from animal slaughter. Okay, so proteins are available from split peas, dal, whole wheat, etc. Okay, and the best food to be safe is the food that is offered to Krishna. So this way we can make that food sanctified. Okay, you see, even the vegetables that we are taking are also involved healing. Yes, but Krishna already said in chapter 9, text 26, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, you can offer me leaf, water, fruit, and flower. He did not list out meat there. He did not ask for animal sacrifice or blood offering. Okay, so we have to offer these products to him. All right, and then we can take it. So if you're going to offer this, then we have to kill plants. All right, but because Krishna, we have to eat, we have to survive to maintain this body. So what we do, we cook with love and we offer to him. And whatever remaining karma reactions there, Krishna will remove it. This is what is called sanctified or purified. Okay, so we are only taking the remnants of it. Okay, because we have to eat. Now, these remnants allowed to be eaten. Okay, because you might be thinking why the food is offered, but it's not reduced. Because Krishna's senses can function like any other senses. For us, we have to see with our eyes, eat with our mouth, but Krishna can eat through his eyes. So this is mentioned in Brahma Samhita. This is how Lord Brahma glorified Krishna. So all Krishna's senses can function, can do the functions of other senses. Okay. So these remnants we can take. Okay, and the important element here is that love and devotion. Of course, we have pastimes happened previously where the Brahmana will tell the son, okay, I'm going out, you please offer this food to Krishna and make sure that he eats. You know, something like that, beg him to eat. Basically, he's telling the boy to tell Krishna to bless the food. Now, the boy took it very literally and he begged Krishna, please eat. If you don't eat, my father will come and scold me. So Krishna actually came down, he ate that food and finished it. So when the father came back and he said, where is the food? Krishna ate already, you know, so the father thinks the boy is lying. So that is a pastime. Okay, this pastime did not come in any of our chapters. So I'm just, maybe in level 3, probably the story will come, then I can tell. Okay, so we are moving to the second one. The next one, first we did worship and then we did food. Now we are doing sacrifice, yeah? Sacrifice in 3 modes. Text 11, whose turn?
Of sacrifices, the sacrifice performed according to the directions of Scripture as a matter of duty by those who desire no reward is of the nature of goodness. But the sacrifice performed for some material benefit or for the sake of pride, O chief of the Bharatas, you should know to be in the mode of passion. Any sacrifice performed without regard for the directions of Scripture, without distribution of prasadam, spiritual food, without chanting of Vedic hymns and remunerations to the priest, and without faith is considered to be in the mode of ignorance.
Okay. All right. So thank you, Madhuri. So we have this is a yagya of sacrifice done in mode of goodness. Below this is the sacrifice done in the mode of passion, and this is done in the mode of ignorance. Okay, generally, a sacrifice in the mode of goodness is done according to scriptures. So as prescribed by the scriptures, we do that. Okay, follow the guideline, and then you do it as a matter of duty, and you desire no reward. Okay, you don't do yagya because I want money, because I want good health, because I want job. Okay, so if you do that, then it goes under passion. Okay, it doesn't come under goodness. So, and then if you don't desire for good house, good job and things like that, what are you desiring for? Because we are actually doing the cycle of sacrifice. Do you remember which chapter is that? Cycle of sacrifice. We are actually thanking the devas for providing us the facilities. So to thank them, this is an act of thanks, act of thanking them, gesture of thanking them. We do this sacrifice. So it is our duty to do that. So this sloka, you can actually link to that sloka. So, you know, I always encourage you to link here and there. Okay, so you know the bigger picture. So you desire no reward for it. It's an act of thanks. And then, however, generally when we do yagyas or anything, we always have a purpose in our mind. Okay, I want to get this, I want to get that. That's why I want to do this. So generally, it's a human tendency to do that. Okay, so that is not encouraged. If it is done, then it's under the mode of passion. So as this is describing, sacrifice under mode of passion is done for material benefit. Okay, those days people do this because they want to achieve certain position in the heavenly kingdom, or for us, we want to do lots and lots of omas to go to heavenly kingdom, to heavenly planets, or some other material benefits. Or it could be also for the sake of pride. Okay. Sacrifice with the intention to get Lord's love. Okay, so for Kali Yuga, the sacrifice that is described is Sankirtana Yajna. So you can do sacrifice, but what is the motive? How do you want to get the bhakti through the sacrifice? But later I will explain. But as I conclude this, I will tell you what you need to add into your sacrifice to make it in the mode of goodness. Okay. All right. So this is fake. I stopped here, right? For the sake of pride. This is to show people that I can afford this yagya. I can do this yagya. I can stand in front and get some reward for doing this yagya. This is mode of passion. Okay, this is sake of pride, establishing or seeking status in a community or society. This is sake of pride. Okay, but if you're doing yagya ultimately to serve the Lord, then what do? You distribute prasadam. Okay, you have Sankirtana yagya. You have the chanting and glorification of the holy names of the Lord. So this is good. This is okay. All right. However, in Kali Yuga, the best yagya prescribed is Sankirtana yagya, the chanting, because not everybody can afford to do yagya. It's not cheap. Okay, it's not very affordable for everyone. Okay, and you have to give some remuneration to the priest. That means you have to give them a sufficient dakshina to the priest. So that one, distribute prasadam. There must be chanting of the holy name. So these three completes the yagya. Okay, if it is meant to serve the Lord. So this can be done. Okay, in the ignorance is totally opposite to mode of goodness. You don't follow the scriptures. You don't distribute prasadam. There is no chanting of the holy names or Vedic hymns, and you don't give dakshina to the priest, or the priests are not qualified, or the priest is doing for money. Okay, and you're doing it without faith because you have to do it, or otherwise, I don't know, there's some consequences to it. You're forced to do it. Okay, and you're doing without faith. So you're doing without faith or conviction, and it's not guided. So this is all in the mode of ignorance. Okay, and then you do this worship for money, or you want to for illegal things. All right, you want to do that. It's not like straightforward dealing. And then what else? A ceremonial show of religiosity. Okay, this is like showing, okay, I can do, right? This is all demonic quality. So we should avoid these two. Okay, so just add on reference to scriptures, distribution of prasadam, chanting of the Vedic hymns or holy name, and give sufficient remuneration to the priest, and that is good. Okay, of course, we have to have faith in the sacrifice that we are doing. Okay, so this is also one way we can understand about a person, what kind of sacrifice the person is making. Okay. Okay, there are some stories, but I think it's okay. Oh yeah, there is one story here. Story of King Parikshit, Samika Rishi, son Shringi, and Takshaka snake. So this is sacrifice in the mode of passion because he has a material benefit to it. Okay, who knows who is King Parikshit? Whose son is he? Or whose grandson is he? This is a story from Bhagavatam. Dasarathan Prabhu, would you know?
Arjuna's.
Somasundara Prabhu, Arjuna's son?
Arjuna's
Hare
grandson.
Krishna Mataji.
Arjuna's grandson. Yes. Okay.
Parikshit Maharaj is Abhimanyu's son.
Abhimanyu son. There, Abhimanyu is. Okay, very good. And Samika Rishi. Okay, all this I will explain. Yeah, it's in the story. Okay, so Samika Rishi is Shringi's father. Okay, so one day King Parikshit was walking in the forest. All right, hold on, yeah. Okay. So one day King Parikshit was taking a walk in the forest and he felt very thirsty. So he saw a hut and he went in to get some water. And he saw this Rishi was sitting there meditating. So just for the sake of the pastime to happen, King Parikshit is such a great personality, okay? But just for the sake of this pastime, he seemed angry because Samika Rishi did not acknowledge his presence there. So he ignored his presence because he was in deep meditation. So what King Parikshit did, he saw a dead snake there. He took a dead snake and put around the Samika Rishi's neck and he left. Okay, so what happened after King Parikshit left? Samika Rishi's son came back, Shringi. So when Shringi saw this dead snake on the father's neck, he got very angry. So he said, when Rishi Shamik's son Shringi came back to find how the king insulted his father, so he took that as an insult. I mean, he got to know that it's a king that who came and put the snake around father's neck. Oh, arrogant Parikshit, I curse you that snake Takshak will bite you to death 7th day from today. Okay, so now Takshak is a flying snake. It's a snake with wings. Okay. All right, so knowing this, okay, Parikshit knows already, he got the news that is Samika Rishi. Samika Rishi was in deep meditation. I think my kids. Okay. So Samika Rishi, so Shringi is very upset. Okay. And then when King Parikshit knows that Shringi is upset and has given a curse that King Parikshit will die 7 days by getting bitten by a Takshaka snake. So usually what will happen? What will happen if you know somebody has cursed you? When somebody cursed you, what would you feel?
Fear.
Sorry, fear. Okay, fear. What else? Angry. Run away. And you want to do a counter attack. You know, something. You take another somebody and you curse back pula. Okay, so usually that will happen. But like I mentioned, King Parikshit is such an exalted personality. Worried, sad, ask forgiveness. Yeah. So what happens? What King Parikshit did? He knows that he has only 7 days to live. Okay, he's surrendered, but he wants to make that last 7 days is a very quality life. Okay, the end of life. So what he did? He went to a place where Bhagavatam Katha was going on, and he started asking questions. Okay, this is Parikshit Maharaj. This is Parikshit Maharaj. And this is Vyasadev's son, Sukadev Goswami. Okay, the original Bhagavatam version is given by Sukadev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj in the presence of great sages like Vyasadev himself. Okay, if you see a blue figure here, this is Vyasadev. And who else sitting here? Who else can you see sitting here in this crowd? A very important personality is sitting and listening to Bhagavatam. Okay. Yes, Narada Muni. Okay, so he's so exalted, right? And still he is listening to Bhagavatam. So this went on for 7 days. Now, what happened before King Parikshit went on to this, to listen to Bhagavatam Katha? He actually passed the throne to his son Janamejaya. Okay, he explained to me what happened. Okay, I'm going to retire and I'm going to prepare for my death. Okay, so he passed the throne to Janamejaya and he went off. Actually, Sukadev Goswami. But Sutta Goswami also was sitting inside here. Yes, yes, Sutta Goswami also sitting. Okay. Okay, let's move on. Shukadev Muni told Parikshit that for the one whose life is remaining for 7 days only should listen to Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, this is Srimad Bhagavatam. After 7 days, he asked Parikshit, do you still fear your death? He replies, no, Munivar. By the grace of Srimad Bhagavatam, I am liberated. So this is the end of the Bhagavatam. Now, in the meantime, what happened here? Okay, now, Janamejaya is, earlier somebody said, when you know somebody has cursed you, you're going to feel angry. Now, King Parikshit did not get angry, but the son got angry. And what did the son do? He did a sacrifice. He did a huge sacrifice. And that sacrifice is to kill all the snakes in that vicinity. Okay, that sacrifice is done for the purpose of killing all the snakes because he wants to save his dad. All right, so he did this. Janamejaya calls all the eminent rishis and begins a massive Sarpa Satra Yagya where mantras are chanted to drag snakes from Nagalok. Okay, not only from the earth, he's going to drag the snakes from Nagalok and burn them in the fire of Yagya. But the Takshak did not come. Okay, he burned all these Yagya. So basically, our point of focus is here. With what purpose he's doing this sacrifice? So you have learned the sacrifice in the mode of three modes, right? So which one falls under this? Which mode this sacrifice falls under? What do you think? Why? Why is it so?
Because of his anger.
Yes, and also tied to the purpose. What's the purpose?
Father's life.
Yeah, the purpose is to kill the snakes so that the father's life is spared. Okay, yes, he is expecting something in return. So looking for benefit. All right, so this is not it's not done for the sake of duty. Okay, so now we know this is an example of sacrifice not done in the mode of goodness, done in the mode of passion. So actually what happens to Parikshit is that finally at the end of the 7 days, okay, he built a fire around him and then Takshaka came, beat him, and then he left the body. Parikshit enters Samadhi, and just when Takshak arrives, his soul departs. Takshak pays his obeisance to Parikshit and goes on to bite his already dead body. It means he's already dead. So because to fulfill the curse, the Takshak paid obeisance. Takshak paid obeisance because he's not an ordinary soul. Okay, so we are done with worship, food, sacrifice. Okay, we are entering austerity. So austerity, we have body, speech, and mind. Okay, this is one example of austerity. Why? Because Hiranyakashipu stood for a very, very long time. How long? I don't know. I think it's 100,000 years until his body, the flesh of his body, eaten by the ant. That means the ant has built, his body's been surrounded by ant hill because that long he was standing there. And then the ant started biting him and there were no flesh. He was just skeleton. Okay, so only when Lord Brahma came, he sprinkled his magic water or something, and then he gotten back his form. All right, so let's go to body first. Did I assign this to anyone? If not, this is text 14. Okay, I didn't assign anyone. So I'm going to read this, yeah? And you try to relate to any philosophies or any sayings in Tamil. See whether you can find similarity or not. If anybody from Tamil background here, it should ring a bell. The austerity of the body consists in this: worship of the Supreme Lord, the Brahmanas, the spiritual master, the superiors like the father and mother. And then cleanliness, simplicity, celibacy, and non-violence are also austerities of the body. Does it ring any bell to any of you? Can you find the similarity?
Mada, Pita, Guru, Devam, is it?
Clever, Prabhu, yes. Okay, so this is austerity of body. So there is similarity. Yes, very good. Clever you all. Okay. All right. So this is the worship of the Supreme Lord, Brahmanas, spiritual master, superior like father and mother. Okay. And then you have cleanliness, simplicity, celibacy, and non-violence. Okay. So it's all straightforward. Yeah. This is body. Okay. All right. And speech. Okay. Speech. I think I did not assign also. So speech is austerity of speech consists in speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating to others, not giving stress to people by the words that we say, and also in regularly reciting Vedic literature. You are training your tongue to be austere, to speak only the beneficial thing, pleasing thing, and purifying thing. Okay, now, can you relate this to any Tamil sayings? Okay, the Mada Pida, I think everybody is little general, very common. I was able to relate this to this. This is actually, I'm talking about Tirukural because my kids are from Tamil school. So actually, when I was doing Gita Gyan and my kids were training in Tirukural, this is very similar to Bhagavad Gita. So I decided to put this in as well. Anybody from Tamil background here? Or you shy to admit? Anyone? No? Nobody? All English medium. I'm also English medium, but I just happen to know. Father, okay. Okay, this is very good. This is a very good knowledge for us. It says here, when there are pleasant words to be used, but we are using bitter words, it is equivalent to letting go sweet fruit and going for a bitter fruit. So you have nice words to be used, but you're choosing harsh words. So this is like letting go very beautiful, nice, sweet fruit and going for bitter fruit. Okay, so this is austerity of speech. Okay. All right, so before we speak, we do this speech filters. Okay, anybody knows what is the speech filter? Before you say something, you have to check few things. But this is a very general advice. Is it necessary? Okay, yeah, something like that. Is it true? Yes.
Not hurting others.
Yes, not hurting or not agitating. Yes, so this is all about the thinking process before we say something. Okay, so basically this is the thing, right? Is it true? Is it pleasing? Is it beneficial? Is it agitating or not? Right? So body, speech, done. Now, austerity of the mind. Okay, what Krishna says? And satisfaction, simplicity, gravity, self-control, and purification of one's existence are the austerities of the mind. So you need to have gravity in thought. Okay, so you have to control what you are thinking. So you should be grounded when you're thinking. Okay, always feeling satisfied, feeling simple. You have self-control. This is purification of one's existence. Okay, so a little training for the mind is given. Some example, being detached. So our chapters from the beginning is all about detachment from the fruit of our activities. All right, so detachment, right? It's not renouncing the activity, it's renouncing the fruit of your activity. Remember, Arjuna was very confused. Okay, so this is detachment. And you should train your mind to always thinking of doing good to others, thinking others' welfare. So this is how we train our mind. And no duplicity. Okay, straightforward dealings. Okay, so how you do detachment? Technically, you remove the mind from being overly attached to thoughts of sense enjoyment. Thoughts, everything starts from thoughts. So the thoughts you need to tackle with. Okay, the more we think of sense enjoyment, then the more mind will become dissatisfied. Oh, this person is doing that, I'm not able to do. Okay, if you keep contemplating it, then you're going to engage in those kind of abominable activities, for example. Okay, so it all starts with the mind. Okay, and then we always think of welfare of others. So you should be trained. You always want to do good for others. You always think of doing good for others. Okay, so it is mentioned that I can't really tell what is the cutoff for this timeline, but in Kali Yuga, in Satya Yuga, it is mentioned that the moment you think bad things, you're already incurring reactions. Okay, all right, you don't have to wait until you act to get the reaction. The moment you think, it's already reaction. The reactions are there. But here in modern age, when you think, you do not get reactions until you execute that. Okay, when you execute that, then you get a reaction. However, where the action is coming from, when you start contemplating on it. So this one, in one of the chapters, Krishna will actually say, it starts with the mind contemplating on sense objects. And then the flow comes, and then the anger comes, and you become delusional, and then you fall down. So Krishna will give this kind of process flow. All right. So it is best to think good. All right. You cannot think that, oh, in Kali Yuga, when you do bad things, is considered bad karma. No, you have to stop at the roots itself. All right. All right. So the solution for this is to always divert the mind to Vedic literatures. Okay. And because they are full with nice stories, very satisfying stories, Krishna stories or spiritual stories. All right. And being silent is also another way. Okay. The silence is also about thinking good things. That is also silence. Okay. All right. So this is the austerity on mental activities. Okay. So we are done with this threefold austerities. Okay. Now these threefold austerities, right? We just covered the types of austerities. We haven't gone into the modes yet. We did mind, body, and speech. Now all these three can fall under three modes. So that we will see now. Body, mind, and speech. Yeah, 9:15 now. Okay. 17 to 19. Whose turn?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu, go ahead.
In austerity or penance, the modes are goodness, passion, and ignorance. And in the modes of goodness, it's performed out of transcendental faith, not expecting material benefit, for the sake of pleasing Supreme. In passion, it's performed out of pride, for the sake of gaining respect, honor, and worship. In the mode of ignorance, performed out of foolishness, for the sake of self-torture, or destroy or injure others.
Okay. Okay, so thank you, Prabhu. So this is austerity or penance. In one verse, Krishna will talk about austerity. The next two verses, Krishna will use the word penance. I mean, the translation is penance. Okay, so in the mode of goodness, people do austerity for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord and not for material benefit. So this is similar to the sacrifice as well. So what kind of austerity? Do you know what kind of austerity you do for the pleasure of the Lord? Sacrifice, you know, is yagya, right? How about austerity or penance? Yes, fasting. Okay, even chanting is also austerity, isn't it? You have to sit for 2 hours, or maybe you can start with 10 minutes, sitting, not moving, not letting your eyes move here and there, not breaking in between to eat. So this is all austerity, right? Kirtan, yeah, sitting inside the kirtan, not moving. Right, so this is also austerity. Okay, you're doing something by telling the body, okay, hang on for a while, okay, so this is austerity, right? So you observe this fasting simply for the pleasure of the Lord, because when you fast, you reduce the demands of your belly, your tongue. Okay, you reduce your eating, or you reduce tasteful eating. Okay, you just settle with very simple food or fruits or nuts or milk. Okay, and you spend more time in reading or chanting or doing service for the Lord. Okay, and not for the own benefit. Now, this one you contra, like you are doing fasting and you are telling everyone, I have fasted today. I have done full fasting. I have fasted for 5 days. I have fasted for 1 week. That is austerity in the mode of passion. So you get adoration from people. Oh, wow, this Mataji is so good. She has fasted, right? The moment you get adoration from public, that is austerity in the mode of passion. So this is about letting people know that how great you are, how religious you are. Okay, so we don't want to do that. Okay, you get honored for that. right? So we don't want to be worshipped by our peers or subordinates. And then there are also people who are austere and they get some followers, and then they'll start worshiping them, washing their feet, and giving them riches, a donation to them. Okay, this is all austerity in the mode of passion. Okay, finally, austerity in the mode of ignorance is by harming our own body and harming others. If the scriptures did not say that you should do austerity by harming your body, then it falls under austerity of ignorance. You want to do this austerity for some satisfaction, but because it is not prescribed in any of the scriptures, and so that will be austerity in the mode of ignorance. Okay, so if you can see here, all these three modes, right? Krishna is not saying you should not do this, you should not do that. From the beginning until now, even until the end of chapter 18, you will notice that Krishna never say you should not do this. You know, like that. Of course, there are some instructions. He say you should give up these 3 gates of hell. Okay, like in these 3 modes, he never say that you should not do this. He just say, if you do this, you get this benefit, this result. If you do this, you get this result. If you do this, you get this result. Okay, so everybody functioning under 3 modes material nature differently based on their natural instinct, based on their past reactions. Okay, so this is for ignorance is self-torture or destroy or injure others. Then this is under austerity in the mode of ignorance. Okay, so for example, earlier we saw this Hiranyakashipu, right? Why he's asking for this boon? You know, what are the boons that he asked from Lord Brahma? He asked for not to be killed by human or animal. He said he should not be killed by any human-made weapon. He should not be killed during the daytime or nighttime. He should not be killed in the air or on the ground or in the water. He should not be killed. How many Shamla Mataji? Did I say everything already? Yeah, he should not be killed by any devas, I think. So like this, he tried to trap Brahma, or initially he asked Lord Brahma to give him immortality, like he should not die. But Lord Brahma said, even I die eventually, so I cannot give you that boon. Okay, thank you, Mataji. So he can't give that boon to Hiranyakashipu. So Hiranyakashipu thought, okay, let me work around it. I cannot be killed day or night, in the ground or in the air or water, day or night, inside the house or outside of the house. Okay, this one I missed earlier. And I should not be killed by any man-made weapons, any weapons. So like this, any devas or demons, something like that. Okay. So Lord Brahma, okay, check. Okay, all this I grant to you. But when Lord Narsingha came, okay, he is even better trickster. Okay, Hiranyakashipu tricked Lord Brahma to give him the boon, but the Lord is supreme knowledgeable person. He killed Hiranyakashipu. He is not man, he is not animal. He's half man, half animal. So one is complied. He did not kill Hiranyakashipu with his weapons, but his own nails. What else? He killed him at the entrance of the house, so the palace. So it's not inside or outside. And it is not in the air or on the ground, because it was on Lord Narsingha's lap. And it was not daytime or nighttime, it was a sunset. So you can't say it's a daytime or nighttime. Not inside or outside of, yes, it's a dusk. So like this, the Lord is more genius, more intelligent. So by complying whatever Lord Brahma has given, because Lord Brahma, he cannot override Lord Brahma's boons given to Hiranyakashipu. So he kept all the boons intact and he still killed Hiranyakashipu. So, all right, so he still got killed that way, right? And yeah, so basically why Hiranyakashipu asked for this boon? One, he wanted immortality. Number one, he wants to fight Lord Vishnu. Because he's angry, Lord Vishnu has killed his brother Hiranyaksha. So it's basically a revenge. Okay, so his intention to do this austerity is also in the mode of passion. Or it could be ignorance, because he wants to harm somebody else. Okay, and he tortured himself. How he tortured himself? He let the ants bite him and he left with skeleton. So this is self-torture. So this is never recommended by any sastras. Okay, so we are done with this. Okay, this is a continuation. Okay, this is from 17.5. This is in the beginning of the chapter. Krishna will mention this. Those who undergo severe austerities and penances not recommended in the scriptures, performing them out of pride and egoism, are to be known as demons. Oh, this is very heavy. Okay, it's very heavy. So we don't want to fall under this one. And why this happen is because people nowadays, they manufacture so many modes of austerity and penance, which are not mentioned in the sastras. Okay, so for instance, they are doing fasting for political motives. Okay, if you do not give me this demand, I am going to fast until death. So this is not recommended in scriptures because you're torturing yourself. Okay, or you let this party win. If not, I'm going to burn myself. Okay, this is also not recommended. All right, and fasting, because the fasting, as per the scriptural injunction, is for your purification, for your elevation of the soul. All right, not for some political purposes, not for material benefits. Okay, so Bhagavad Gita say people who are doing it like for that purpose, they are demoniac. Okay, generally they do out of pride, false ego, lust, and attachment for material enjoyment, for their benefits to be met. Okay, so why this is bad? Because why this is not prescribed in the scriptures? Because this is going to not only cause disturbance to your body, which is made of the 24 elements, you are also disturbing others, and you're disturbing the community, the society, the environment, everything. You are causing disturbance to everyone around you. Okay, that and also, you know, Paramatma sitting inside your heart, you're also doing a disservice to the Lord Vishnu. Okay, Mataji, how about Taipusam piercing? Does it fall under ignorance too? What do you think, Prabhu? How do you apply this knowledge? What do you think? Is it mentioned in any of the sastras? If it is mentioned in any of the sastras, you can bring it forward and we can have a discussion on it. But so far, I have not seen it. Okay, so if you have if it is mentioned in any of the sastras or Puranas, okay, then you know I can understand where is it coming from. Ignorance. So which one, Prabhu? I think yes, or ignorance. Which one? Is it mentioned in any of sastras? Can you quote any sastras, or can anyone quote from any sastras that is required or allowed or requested by the Lord? We can think like this, Prabhu, because the guideline has been given by Lord Krishna himself. Yes, so this is the knowledge, yeah, this is the knowledge. You can do prayers without inflicting harm on us, especially children, right? It pains to see the children also have to go through that, right? So we want this knowledge, okay? All right, so what else? I think this is pretty much covered already, okay? All right, so we move on to charity. So if anybody has any question on that, if you disagree with what we are saying or discussing, you can always bring it up, okay? You can always discuss. Remember, we have to ask questions. Okay, charity in 3 modes. Okay, can we have somebody to read? If you have Bhagavad Gita, please read it directly from the book. 20 to 22. Jai Mataji.
Hi, Mataji. Yep. Text 20. Charity given out of duty without expectation of return at the proper time and place and to a worthy person is considered to be in the mode of goodness. Text 21. But charity performed with the expectation of some return or with a desire for fruitive results or in a grudging mood is said to be charity in the mode of passion. Text 22. And charity performed at an impure place at an improper time to unworthy persons or without proper attention and respect is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So charity in the 3 modes. All right, so people generally think, do charity, we are helping people, we get good karma. But Krishna is telling there are 3 modes, okay? And you get, whether you get benefit or not, that you have to analyze and see who you give to. Are you giving it dutifully? Okay, are you giving it to the right person at the right time for the right purpose?
Last minute I joined.
Okay. All right. So if you're going to give money to somebody, you don't know what they're going to do with the money. Okay. Can you actually give charity to drug addicts or alcoholics? You for sure, you know what they're going to do with the money. Okay. Have you actually tried donating food for this kind of people? You know, they will say you need money to eat, right? But when you give them food, they will refuse. I have done that. Okay. You're hungry, right? Nah, take. They were like, the person actually scolded me and went, so I know if I give him money, he's going to go buy his intoxications. Okay. He doesn't need food actually. So you want to help somebody, you give them prashadam. Okay. So it's risky to give money. Okay. And what else? Charity in the mode of passion is you do something in order to get some good names. Yeah. You know, I actually, I have long ago, I stopped giving money for people who ask, you know, it's either I give food or I say, sorry, cannot, you know. And okay, so in the mode of passion, you want name and fame. You want your name to be posted on the notice board, okay, or you click for some pictures. So this is in the mode of passion. You want recognition, reward. Okay, so this is mode of passion. Mode of ignorance. Mode of ignorance is what I mentioned earlier, giving money to the drug addicts and alcohol. You're going to encourage them to get more and more entangled in that activity. So would you want to do that? It's your hard-earned money. Why would you want to incur karma? Some people say that it's your responsibility. Stop where you give the money. Okay, you don't know what they're going to do with the money. But that is ignorance, isn't it? You know for sure he is not in a good shape. So why would you give the money to him, right? How about those who fast for Krishna and cannot ask for alms? We can donate to them. How, Mataji? I don't understand. How about when you are indirectly shamed or pressured into donating? Okay, this one, doing charity in a grudging mode. This is coming under passion. So you might as well don't do it. Right? So be true to yourself. Be honest to yourself. You don't want your charity to fall under passion. If it is not coming from your heart, so why would you want to do it? Because you're not sincere. You don't have that wholeheartedness to give. So to give comes under mode of goodness. You give dutifully. Actually, donate to Krishna consciousness is already devotional service. So it doesn't come under mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance. Okay, that is bhakti already. However, donating for something like charity, because you're forced to do so, you have to make sure that it's not coming under passion, because otherwise there's no meaning at all. It's not meaningful at all. Okay. Right. So you need to communicate to them that I am not interested, or somehow I'm on tight budget, something like that. You have to say, right? Okay, Jane Mataji, I don't understand your question here, Mataji. Maybe you can rephrase it a bit.
Hi, Mataji. I think I'll just ask.
Yes.
Mataji, like, you know, some people we see in the temple, they don't really ask for donation, but they'll stand there and it's like you're supposed to donate coins or something to them, or grains, because they eat based on that. And they are carrying out some kind of penances, I guess.
Okay, so these people in the temple is also, I would not donate because I don't know them. I don't know their background. And it's very hard to judge or gauge what they're going to do with the money. But if you really need to, you can give and pray that they utilize the money properly. That's as much that you can do. Okay, but usually I will see they're okay. They can work. So why are they working? And you can see even blind people are selling some tissue, something they are doing, right? So what is the excuse, right? Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Sometimes it falls on our discretion also. So now that you have this knowledge, you can see, does this charity falls under any of this? Okay, then I better not, you know, like that. You can give them prashada, is very safe, right? Okay, I think that's about it for charity. Okay, today the chapter is little, let me see. Oh yeah, we're almost at the end. So we have one storytelling and then we can end the class. So remember who attended the class earlier for the Ganga documentary? You saw how Lord Vamana's toe pierced the ceiling of the universe and the Viraja river water flew through and she is Mother Ganga. Okay, now this is the prequel. Earlier we saw sequel, now we're going to see prequel. All right, Guhan Prabhu, you ready?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, I am ready, Mataji.
Welcome Guhan Prabhu to the stage.
Actually, I would like to tell to all the devotees gathered here. Actually, this pastime is actually very, very long. It starts from Kurma Avatar, actually, if you want to relate it.
Oh,
That's
okay.
how,
You can
yeah.
start by
But
saying Bali Maharaj,
yeah,
why he did this. He wants to get the Lord Indra's position, something like that, Prabhu.
yes, we start with I'll keep it as short as possible.
Okay.
So this story is the pastime of Vamana Dev and Bali Maharaj. It starts where those days demons and demigods frequently have fighting. They always have fight. So what happened was that the demons won over the demigods. How they won? Bali Maharaj got the blessings of Brahmanas. So he was after he got the blessings of Brahmanas, he became quite powerful. So he dethroned Indra from his heavenly planet. And because of that, what happened is that the demigods went into hiding and Aditi became very sad. Aditi is the mother of the demigods, together with Kasyapa Muni, the father of the demigods. So because of that, she will pray to Lord Vishnu to help her sons. So Lord Vishnu will be pleased with the austerity. She will do some severe austerity. And then because of that, Lord Vishnu will become very pleased and he say he will appear as a son, as Vamana Dev. And he will say he will give back all the lost heavenly kingdom back to the sons. So Vamana Dev will appear through Kasyapa Muni and Aditi. So then Bali Maharaj will be performing a yagya, and during that yagya, all the brahmanas will be gathered there. So Vamana Dev is also a brahmana because he's born to Kasyapa Muni and Aditi. So he is also a brahmana, and he's a dwarf incarnation. So Vamana Dev will also be going there to see Bali Maharaj. So those days there is a practice where when you conduct a yagya, you need to give charity to brahmanas. So that is the Satriya Dharma, the Dharma for kings. So Bali Maharaj is someone who keeps to his promise. He promised that he will give the charity that is requested by Brahmana. So whatever they request, he will give what they request in charity. So all the Brahmanas one by one coming and taking charity from Bali Maharaj. And Vamana Dev also appeared. So when he appeared there, Bali Maharaj requested Vamana Dev, what do you want in charity? So Vamana Dev said he only wants 3 paces of land. So Bali Maharaj also agreed to this and he wanted to give the 3 paces of land to Vamana Dev. But before that happened, what happened was Bali Maharaj Guru Sukracharya, he knew that this Vamana Dev is not ordinary person and this is Lord Vishnu himself. So he went to Bali Maharaj and he warned him. He said to him, this is Lord Vishnu himself. It's coming in the form of Vamana Dev. So you don't give anything to him. You can, and he's giving him an instruction by saying that you can reject him because you can reject giving charity when someone is trying to take away your wealth or something like that. So when he was telling that, Bali Maharaj refused to accept Sukracharya's instruction and he insisted on giving charity to Vamana Dev. So because of that, Sukracharya cursed Bali Maharaj that he will lose all his wealth. And of course, Vamana Dev took away, in later stages, you will see how he take away Bali Maharaj's wealth. So this is all Krishna's arrangement. So what will happen since Bali Maharaj proceeded with the charity? So Vamana Dev started expanding himself for the 3 paces of land. So at the first step, he covered the earth. At the second step, he covered the entire cosmic manifestation. So now he has no place to put his third step. So he requested to Bali Maharaj, so where should I put my third step? Then Bali Maharaj, because he is a king and he have given promise to the Lord that he will give 3 paces of land. So he will bow down and he will say, please put your third step on my head. And Vamana Dev will place his lotus feet on his Bali Maharaj hid. So when I said the second step, when Lord Vamanadev put, that is where Mataji shared the Ganga flowing. That is where it will happen. When the second step goes up to cover the entire cosmic manifestation, Vamanadev's toe will poke the Vaikuntha, and then from there Ganga will flow, and that's how Ganga will be born. From there, she will descend to our earthly planet. So this is the pastime of Vamanadev and Bali Maharaj. So from here, there is one message, which is, like Mataji explained earlier, the charity in the mode of goodness. You can see when Bali Maharaj was performing charity, it was in the mode of goodness where he was not expecting anything in return. So that is why when even Vamanadev asked him anything, he did not expect anything in return. He just did it as his duty as a king. Okay, Mataji, Hare Krishna. That's all from me.
Oh, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. I hope everybody enjoyed the story. Okay, so actually, I did not realize that the Ganga documentary is related to this Vamana pastime. Only when I saw, this is where Lord Vamana's toe pierces through the ceiling of the universe. So it's all Krishna's arrangement that it has to come together. And because this Ganga documentary, I think I've been telling you all since the beginning of the class, I'm going to show you, but towards 17th chapter already, I couldn't find a time to show. So, that's how Krishna arranges things. Okay. So I hope you all can relate. So even though the King Bali's sacrifice motive originally is to attain the position of Lord Indra, okay, but later on, you see how it has transformed to mode of goodness, like Prabhu concluded just now. Even Dhruva Maharaj also same like that, because he was mistreated by the father, because he gave importance to the other son. He went to the forest and he wanted to see Lord Vishnu. I want to ask Lord Vishnu for a kingdom. Okay, how come only my brother gets the kingdom? How come I don't get a kingdom? So he went with so much of determination to see Lord Vishnu, and he wanted to ask. So he did a lot of penance, and Lord Vishnu finally arrived. Right, but looking at the Lord Vishnu's beauty, he was so charmed and mesmerized. He didn't want to ask anything. Okay, so that's how the devotees will have a change of heart when Lord Krishna blesses them, even though initially the motive is material. Okay, so of course we want to finish with the supremacy of chanting of Maha Mantra compared to all the austerity, charity, and everything. Who's doing the last slide?
Me, Mataji.
Okay, Janani.
Even if one distributes 10 million cows in charity during an eclipse of the sun, lives at the confluence of the Ganges and Yamuna for millions of years, and gives a mountain of gold in sacrifice to the Brahmanas, he does not earn 1/100th part of the merit derived from chanting Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you, Madhji. So you can see all you put together, the charity or sacrifice or austerity, it doesn't come equal to the benefit that we get from chanting this Maha Mantra. And it is so easy to be done. You can do it silently, you can do it with crew, you can do it loudly, anywhere, anytime, in any manner. Okay, even doing it by jokingly also you get benefit. Okay, so recently one of our participants, there's Vikneswari Mataji, she left already. She went to Triveni Sangha. So I told her to share something. I think Mataji couldn't stay. Okay, so no problem. I'm going to leave this recap chart here in this PDF. Okay, it's very easy, right? So the food, the sacrifice, the austerity, charity, worship. Okay, that's about it. Oh yeah, there's one last one. To perfect all the activities, we chant Om Tat Sat. Okay, from the beginning of creation, the three words Om Tat Sat were used to indicate the supreme absolute truth. These three symbolic representations were used by Brahmanas while chanting the hymns of the Vedas and during sacrifices for the satisfaction of the supreme. So whatever we do, we complete that with Om Tat Sat. Okay, because we are dedicating all this to the Lord. So that is the general meaning. Okay, thank you, everyone. Okay, I have something to ask you.